Disney has once again plunged into its nostalgic vault with the release of Lilo and Stitch, 2025, a live-action remake of its beloved 2002 animated classic. This time, the House of Mouse seems to be trying more than just a visual upgrade. The 2025 version of Lilo and Stitch is an emotionally rich, culturally respectful, and surprisingly grounded retelling that aims to connect with new generations while giving longtime fans a fresh perspective on a timeless story. The movie begins just like the original, in the depths of space, where a strange and illegal genetic experiment known as Experiment 626 is put on trial by the Galactic Federation. Created by the eccentric and unapologetically chaotic Dr. Jumba Jookiba, the small blue creature is built for destruction. But Stitch, as he'll soon be named, escapes from captivity, steals a spacecraft, and crash lands on Earth, more precisely, on the Hawaiian island of Kauai. Back on Earth, the audience is introduced to Lilo Pelekai, a quirky and lonely young girl dealing with the loss of her parents and struggling to find her place in the world. She lives with her older sister Nanny, who is fighting to hold their fragile family together while working multiple jobs and facing the looming threat of Child Protective Services. Lilo is an outsider among her peers, fascinated by Elvis Presley and photography, but her life changes when she adopts what she believes is a dog from the local animal shelter, which turns out to be none other than Experiment 626. The relationship between Lilo and Stitch forms the emotional core of the story. At first, Stitch is as destructive as he was designed to be, using Lilo as a shield to hide from the alien agents Jumba and Pleakley who are sent to capture him. But over time, he begins to understand human emotion, and eventually forms a real bond with Lilo. As Nanny struggles to keep custody and balance her responsibilities, Stitch disrupts their lives in ways that are both chaotic and hilarious, but also deeply touching. The climax of the film delivers a heartfelt message about found family, belonging, and choosing love over destruction. Stitch, after much resistance, realizes the meaning of Lilo's favorite word, Ohana, which means family in Hawaiian, and that family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. While the 2025 film closely follows the plot of the 2002 animated version, it makes some notable changes. This version deepens the emotional stakes, especially regarding Lilo's grief, Nanny's sacrifices, and the tension with Cobra Bubbles, the government agent overseeing their case. The character of Nanny is given a more developed arc, including aspirations of going to college and her internal struggle between responsibility and dreams. The film also takes great care in respecting Hawaiian culture, featuring real hula chants, native language phrases, and community scenes that feel much more lived in and authentic than the stylized animated version. The visuals are significantly more grounded. Where the original used watercolor backgrounds and exaggerated animation, the live-action version opts for realism, filmed entirely on location in Hawaii. This gives the film a more intimate, heartfelt tone but also strips away some of the vibrant whimsy that defined the animated movie. The CGI used to bring Stitch to life is perhaps the film's riskiest element, but surprisingly, it works. The team at Industrial Light and Magic blended motion capture with traditional animation, and original Stitch voice actor Chris Sanders returns, bringing the same quirky charm and chaos that made the character iconic. The decision to reuse his voice and vocal performance is one of the film's biggest wins, tying it directly to the original while giving Stitch a new emotional range. The production of the movie was not without challenges. Initially announced in 2020, the film was delayed several times due to script rewrites, COVID-era scheduling conflicts, and casting controversy. The most heated backlash occurred when some fans criticized the casting of Sydney Agudong as Nanny, claiming her appearance did not reflect the darker-skinned Nanny from the original. Disney responded by hiring Hawaiian cultural consultants and expanding local casting, which helped the production regain public trust. The film finally entered full production in 2023 and wrapped by early 2024. With a reported budget of $160 million, Lilo and Stitch is one of Disney's more modestly scaled live-action adaptations, especially compared to blockbusters like The Lion King, 2019. Yet the results arguably pack more heart. The cast features several standout performances. Newcomer Maya Kealoha as Lilo delivers an incredibly grounded and emotional portrayal. She captures Lilo's weirdness, sadness, and fierce love in a way that honors the original while making the character feel freshly human. Sydney Aguedong as Nanny brings real-world struggles to life, especially in scenes of financial tension and desperation. Zach Galifianakis provides both comedy and menace as Jumba, while Billy Magnuson's portrayal of the neurotic alien Pleakley is a scene-stealing joy. Courtney B. Vance brings gravity and depth to Cobra Bubbles, whose backstory as a former CIA agent adds layers of intrigue. The film also features touching cameos from Tia Carrere and Amy Hill, both of whom had roles in the original cartoon. Critically, the movie has received mixed to positive reviews. On Rotten Tomatoes, it holds a critic score of 69%, with most praising the emotional performances, cultural authenticity, and the visual design of Stitch. Audiences, however, are far more forgiving, giving the film a 93% approval score. Metacritic has it at a respectable 67, while IMDb ranks it at 7.8/10. Fans praise the film's ability to make them cry, laugh, and reconnect with their childhood, without feeling like a soulless remake. Social media lit up with reactions calling it Disney's best remake in years, with Stitch-themed merchandise flying off the shelves in the weeks following its release. Still, not everything worked perfectly. Some viewers criticized the film's slower pacing in the first act and its more muted color palette. Others missed the wild humor and fast-paced energy of the original, saying that this remake occasionally leans too far into drama. One controversial change, Nanny receiving a scholarship and briefly leaving Lilo in the care of a Hawaiian elder, divided audiences, with some praising the realistic growth and others missing the original's happy together ending. Nevertheless, the overwhelming fan response was positive, with many calling it the first live-action remake since The Jungle Book, 2016, that actually made them feel something. The film's success raises a bigger question: has Disney finally figured out the live-action formula? After several underwhelming and criticized projects, including Pinocchio, 2022, and the poorly received Snow White, 2024, Lilo and Stitch feels like a rare course correction. By trusting the emotional power of the original story, casting authentically, and grounding the film in real cultural values, Disney seems to have reconnected with its audience. The studio reportedly plans to greenlight a sequel or even a Disney Plus spin-off based on the many other alien experiments Stitch's creator once unleashed. In the end, Lilo and Stitch, 2025, is more than just a remake. It's a sign that Disney, after many missteps, might finally be listening. It doesn't try to replace the original, it honors it, builds upon it, and dares to feel real. Whether you grew up with Stitch or are meeting him for the first time, this version reminds us that family, and sometimes redemption, can come from the most unexpected places.